Welcome home residents, it's your Mayor Alistair back with some more Atomic news. And it's a jam-packed update today because not only do we have more Godzilla X Kong 3 news, bringing back a fan favourite character for the upcoming film, but we also have a potential plot leak that details some pretty massive things that will happen in the film. But not everything is as it seems. And also we have a confirmed release date for the new Godzilla X Kong game that some of you might not have even heard of. And also just announced the release date for the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. So stick around for that. Let's get to it. Of course, remember to subscribe and stomp that like button because the more of you that do, the more views these videos get. So it really helps us out. Go do it now. First off, if you'll recall, last week it was confirmed that Kaitlyn Dever has been cast as a lead role in the upcoming MonsterVerse film. And because of this, it's looking like the upcoming film will be Godzilla-focused, since it'll have an all-new cast. Like, if we heard that Kaylee Hottle or Rebecca Hall were hired, then we'd assume it's a more Kong-focused film, since they're pretty much the heart of the Kong story. Well, we've just heard some news that complicates things a little, because Dan Stevens is in talks to return as the best character from Godzilla X Kong, Trapper. Now, obviously he spent the majority of the new Empire tending to Kong's needs, but this doesn't automatically confirm that the next film will be Kong-focused. Trapper is a vet, and after all, Godzilla is an animal as well, just a very big one, so maybe he'll need some help at some point in the film. I'm personally super excited to see him return. Dan Stevens is such a fun character actor, and he'll bring some much-needed humour to what will likely be an even darker film. But his role may be somewhat linked to the recent plot leak that was posted to Toho Kingdom's forum. But there's something kind of weird about this post. Now I'll just post a spoiler warning just in case any of this even partially comes true. So here's your 5-second warning just in case. Okay? You that are still here, you're my favourite. The leak says that the film will take a more somber tone, with serious implications involving the world's leaders appointing a new government agency to dismantle Monarch and take over Hollow Earth operations, with the ultimate goal of collapsing it and effectively sealing the monsters away once and for all. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. This is something that the MonsterVerse has been needing to do for a long time, because there's just been so much destruction that has been ignored for too long. But what about the villain? Is it Destroyer Biolante? Well, not exactly. The antagonist this go-round is actually an enraged Godzilla, and the government agency responsible for upsetting the balance of nature. So from the sounds of this, humanity and Godzilla will be the villain, which could be super interesting. We're obviously invested in the preservation of our own species, but we're also devoted to the King of the Monsters, who protects the balance of the planet's ecosystem. So the two at odds could be really cool. The leak goes on to say, Shimo returns for a cameo, but is subdued by the military in the Hollow Earth through new anti-Titan weaponry and the use of mechanized zombie titans, including skullcrawlers. This angers the great apes in the Hollow Earth, who see humans as tyrants no different than Scar King. Kong is especially angered by the use of reanimated skullcrawlers. Now, I've seen some people say that this is what makes the leak sound fake, but zombie skullcrawlers are actually absolutely plausible now the MonsterVerse has introduced a pink goo that evolved Godzilla and Tiamat and is actually keeping Tiamat alive and potentially resurrecting him. And even the new Titan Chasers game has a partially biomechanical skullcrawler, so this isn't something overly far-fetched for the MonsterVerse. The leak continues. Cameos of multiple Titans battling the military before ultimately being destroyed and or subdued. Zuko returns and serves to break up the darker tone with comedic relief moments lightly sprinkled throughout. Kong's arc shares similarities with Godzilla's, but where they diverge is Kong struggles with his choice to continue coexisting with humanity, where Godzilla is seemingly at his wit's end and ready for war. Awesome, I'd love to see Godzilla properly destroying a city, It's something people thought would happen based on the 2014 trailers, so it would be really nice if they actually delivered on that promise. Godzilla's rage against humanity is something that's been hinted at since Godzilla vs. Kong, when Apex built their own mechanized titan to replace the king of the monsters and the rest of the titans. So he's rightfully pissed. Kong has an epic scene battling the military in a major city. Godzilla is surprise attacked by the military while sleeping in the Roman Colosseum and battles through the military and their zombie titans. Godzilla has settled into his new form. It's stated his dorsal plates have straightened out and hardened, and his bulk has returned. Mothra returns as well, and even has a brief battle with Godzilla and Kong as she chooses not to forsake humanity. It's through hers and Monarch/Gia's intervention that they convince Kong and later Godzilla that humanity is still worth fighting for. Ending seems hopeful that humanity will work towards cleaning up the Earth so they can coexist with it and the Titans like in ancient times once more. Now that's where this post ends, but there has been whispers that a Goji egg sends distress signals to Godzilla, and it may be the reason Godzilla is striking back against humanity. This is something that was also present in the Toho films, so it would make sense for the signal capabilities to return. Perhaps the organization is using it to lure Godzilla to the Hollow Earth in order to trap him, alongside the rest of the Titans. This is where I believe Trapper could be involved. As a vet, he has to make sure the egg is alive and stable and monitor its vital signs. But of course, since he's a good guy, he could try and save the egg from captivity and release it back into the hands of Godzilla. But obviously the big question is any of this true? Well, the answer is both no and possibly. I have been told by our good friend Warstu that much of this information is indeed correct, and he's gotten stuff right in the past. And it didn't take long for the leaks to spread across Twitter, with everyone believing it to be true. However, the leaker continued to destroy any sense of credibility by posting AI-generated images, pretending they were official concept art, which pretty much stopped the rumor dead in its tracks. Some of the stuff in the leak just didn't really make sense either, like humanity attacking Godzilla while he's sleeping in the Roman Colosseum, despite them being angry at him for destroying their cities. So it doesn't make sense for humanity to just start destroying their own historical landmarks. But Warstu remains adamant that at least part of the leak is true, and I'm inclined to believe him. Most of what was written in the post is just things that have been hinted at in the New Empire, the novelization, and the upcoming MonsterVerse Declassified comic. In fact, quite a lot of this post just seems to be regurgitated information from our own theories that we've posted on the channel, like humanity will be the villain, taking the fight to the Hollow Earth to try wipe out the Titans. But they'd have a tough time facing the greatest extinction event to ever face the Earth: humanity. Or the fact that there will be zombie titans that humanity creates to fight Godzilla. Monarch may be looking for ways to regenerate titans, and no, not just their wounds and injuries, but full on bringing them back from the dead. And the only reason we've come up with theories on these ideas is because the MonsterVerse has been actively giving us this information. So, in a way, part of this leak may indeed come true, but only because it's what the series has been leading towards. But I wouldn't be shocked if they just went in a completely different direction, which is what this series is kind of known for at this point. So could it be real? Well, I don't think the post itself is real, and the AI art pretty much confirms that, but some of the plot points may very well end up happening. And if it does, I'm sure that the leaker will just be claiming that things changed during pre-production, and still take credit for the parts he got accidentally right. But we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, we've got the upcoming MonsterVerse game, Godzilla X Kong Titan Chases, with the studio giving us a brand new trailer packed with some awesome cinematics of everyone's favorite lizard and big bearded ape. Honestly, I'd be game for a whole animated film like this. Like, this is what Skull Island should have been. But they showed off some new gameplay as well, giving us an even better look at just what to expect when the game releases. And yes, it does look like many other mobile games, but because of the sheer potential with a Monsterverse game, I'm expecting there to be far more substance and potential new lore with something like this. And they even gave us an official release date. After over a year of waiting, we finally have it. The 25th of February is when you residents will be able to play the game. You can even pre-register over on the App Store already, which grants you a bunch of bonus exclusive unlocks. So you thankfully won't have to wait long until you'll actually be able to play it. So get hyped for that. Though, one thing I was not expecting to see today was a teaser for Jurassic World Rebirth, giving us our first footage of the film, and it looks awesome. It's only a short glimpse, but we see Zora Bennett and Dr. Loomis standing in the long grass, and Zora looks up at something big, and Loomis turns around to see a long whip-like tail, and if the rumors are true, this belongs to none other than Titanosaurus. Nope, the other one. Thank you. Now, what I'm guessing is happening is this belongs to a baby, since it looks to be pretty low down to the ground. And it runs away, scared of the humans, and then the mother comes along and attacks them, similar to what happened in the Lost World with the Stegosaurus. Another possibility is that this Titanosaurus was lying down, and that's how they weren't able to spot it. And then after it heard the voices of our characters, it stood up, and then you get that moment of, wow, just like you got with the Brachiosaurus in the original. This scene feels very Gareth Edwards, and I cannot wait to see more, which isn't going to be long, because the full trailer drops this Wednesday. That's tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. I am so hyped. You know we'll be covering it all here at DangerVille, so subscribe and stomp the notification button to become a resident of DangerVille today. And chomp that like button while you're at it. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.